How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back to yet another review. Not just any other review, though. Mystery beer time. Mystery beer time. One of my favorite times. No idea what this is. That's my mystery beer series. For those who are uninitiated, mystery beers. You've probably seen people do them on the YouTubes and stuff like that, and they drink mystery beers. They have beers they don't know what they are, but most of the time it's kind of like, you know, okay, we're going to line up 4 different Belgian quads and drink them without knowing which one's which. Or, you know, someone has their friend or significant other kind of sets their beers up for them. The problem with that is you kind of know what it is. You know, you sit there, it's in your fridge. It's probably one end, you know, if you line up 4 Belgians and you had 8 in your fridge, you know, the odds are 50-50 you're going to guess what's what. These are given to me by people who have pre-wrapped them and done everything to where I have no idea what's in them. So, totally blind. Sometimes I nail it. Sometimes I crash and burn. More times than not, I fall somewhere in between. Let's dive into it. Label-wise, it's awesome. It's white paper. Pop this cap off. Ooh, sounded kind of weird, like the glass is breaking a little bit. Okay. I think we're okay. Suds are kind of creeping up on there. Does that mean anything? I don't know. And like I said, I have no idea what kind of style this beer this is. All I know is what I see and what I taste. What do I see? It looks like an English old ale to me. Could be a sour. Might be a sour. It looks kind of like an English old ale to me. Maybe, you know, some kind of Belgian beer. You know, malty, obviously. What else is going on? It could be a couple different things, but it has this kind of Belgian, not Belgian, this English old ale kind of vibe to it. That's what I'm feeling so far. Okay, let's see if we can get a nose on her. Bit fluffy and sudsy. Usually doesn't mean a super high ABV. You know, this is the second one out of this batch of mystery beers that I've done, courtesy of Chris. He did the most recent batch that I got. He re-upped and re-ammoed me up with another set. I opened one previous to this. Very similar. That one, I guess, was a really old English old ale or a Belgian. What it ended up being was a high ABV, 10% Saison aged in gin barrels. I'm getting a lot of the same vibes from this one. I'm getting this little bit of kind of like apple pie mixed with caramel, mixed with butterscotch, mixed with a slice of green apple kind of vibe. Very soft though, very gentle. There's not much to it. Definitely yeast driven, definitely malt driven. I couldn't tell you off the bat what kind of beer it is. It could be again pretty much similar to what that other one was. I could guess it could be some kind of English based beer. It could be or English style kind of beer, or kind of like a Belgian darkish kind of beer, whether it be like a double or triple, or it could be like a kind of a messed with kind of saison on the nose. I'm getting a slight bit of tartness in there, so it could have a sour component to it. Right on the nose, honestly, I don't know. Cheers. I don't know, honestly. It's malty. There's that apple skin thing. It's not the sour thing. It's apple skin things coming through. I'm going to go pretty much what I said in the last one. To be honest with you, I think it's an old beer. I think it's an aged beer. Now, I didn't think of the barrel aging when I said that about the last one, so I kind of have it in my brain. Is it something that hit wood? Is it something that hit a barrel? There's a bit of dryness there, sure. Could be yeasting, but I'm getting a dryness there. I'm not getting any kind of spirit. If it is a spirit, it's going to be kind of a clear, nothing too crazy, nothing too fruity or dark or rich kind of spirit. Unless it's just a short time in that barrel. But even the beer itself is not all that detectable, for lack of a better term. It tastes like you know, like I keep, I'm probably gonna post these both at the same time, so you'll understand this more. I'm a little bit removed from it since that one was from the other day, but it tastes like it has age on it. It tastes like it's kind of a malt-driven beer with a little bit of yeast influence to it, but it's pretty nondescript stuff. Did it hit, like I said, a barrel or something like that? That could be the aging thing that I'm thinking of, but yeah, I don't know what else to say. Kind of thin by the looks of it, by the smell of it. I expected to have a little bit of body, but it's a little bit thinner. That makes me think it might have some age on it too. Had a big creamy frothy head to it though. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what kind of beer this is. Like it's almost like somebody's like God, spacing. Beer de Garde or something like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna guess. Let's just guess some kind of fucked with kind of saison. Maybe a hit, a wood, but nothing too crazy. Really no spirit. If it was a spirit, be like a white wine, but nothing crazy over dry or anything like that. And that's pretty much it. That's what I'm guessing. Watch it be. It's gonna be a stout or something like that. Okay. What do we have here? I assume it might be somebody's attempt at a sour beer. I had this beer before. Okay. I've had this exact beer before. So I know exactly where it's going to come from. Watch this. This is how I know. I'll prove it to you. This is Città Vecchia. It's a Birra Artiglia Trieste Formidable. It's an Italian beer. Okay. It is it is a stout. Now, it's not a stout. And if you look at it, you can even see by that is not a stout. It's a Shelton Brothers product. It's 8% alcohol by volume, unfiltered and pasteurized, handcrafted stout. It's not a stout. I had this, I reviewed it. I don't know if I ever did post it. I know exactly where this came from. I know where Chris got it from. And how do I know that? I'm going to do this because afterward I did it on there. You could peel this label off here. And you can actually see, it's kind of ripping off. There's another label underneath this label. And under there, I believe they give you the date on the beer. And it's old. It's very old. Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to get it off. The other one I think I got off completely. But these are kind of last, what was it? Yeah, I'm kind of tearing at it. Not doing my best on removing it. But anyway, this had a... Yeah, it's not going to come off. Son of a bitch. But I forget how I found out the date on this. I know it had a bit of time on it. What it was a brewer... There's the date down there now. I peeled it off. God damn it. I forget what. 2010 I think it's from. So, I mean, it has 8 years on it. I reviewed this. I don't think I posted it. I'm going to post them both at the same time if I can go find it. And I actually liked it. Even though it's not a stout. It's some weird version of a beer. It was like, in the state of Pennsylvania, you buy regions for breweries. And there was like a brewery, big huge Merc ring on there. You buy like rights to breweries, and a local distributor to us was selling off of their old Shelton Brothers stock. So a bottle shop by us kind of bought all that, and a bunch of it they kind of threw in a mix six kind of thing. And this is one of them. It's one of the ones I picked up from there. But I kind of enjoyed what it was and what it turned into. It wasn't a stout. It was more saison than anything else. And I'm curious to see how my review lands based off of going into it blind. So it's kind of cool they did the same beers. It's happened a couple times with Chris. We live close to each other, so it makes sense. But yeah, it's not a stout, even though that's what they call it. But it's a fun beer. Let's talk about it. Is it one of the better stouts I've had as of late? It's not a stout, but it was fun. It's interesting. It's aged, it's dated. It's 8 years old, so it's kind of got past its prime. That's why it was so muted and not much was there. But it's a fun beer nonetheless, and super chuggable at 8%. So yeah, that was fun. Little mystery beer funness. Yeah, so I'll try to post those reviews all on the same day. You know, do mystery beer Monday and an extra one, and see what's what. Go check out the other one, see if I'm right or wrong, or tried tasted something different. That one was from 6 months ago. I don't think the beer would change in 6 months. Anyway, so there you go. Another review in the books. Mystery beer in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untappd, Massive Beers. All 4 of those places if you want to check me out on the social media. Beer Massive. Whether it be podcasting or add the .com at the end, go to the website for all my podcasting stuff that I've been doing, all my old brewer interviews, new stuff coming in weekly. Usually post new content on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. Yeah, go check that stuff out too. It's, you know, me talking to brewers and talking to other people about beer instead of me just yammering solo. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice 8-year-old not stout right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.